Shaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mokam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate giri yat kripatam vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So today morning I was invited to one college in Coimbatore. One of our Gita course student, Mridula Mataji. So she had arranged a session. So she's the HOD of the mathematics department in CMS college. So she arranged a session where I was asked to speak, and 1.5 hour slot was given. And I spoke on cultivating inner stability, because in college you cannot directly speak Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So something from Bhagavad Gita I spoke, but then I didn't quote much shlokas. And the session was supposed to get over at 12:30, but then it extended up to 12:45, and still attendance was full. And the teachers were saying that this is the first time that we have got full attendance, till the end, in any session. And then students were commenting that, hats off, mind-blowing session. I gained a lot, this, that, so much of peace, happiness, whatever. So after the session, I was just analyzing. My talks are really not that great, for receiving such appreciation. But then I could understand that everyone is craving for that spiritual satisfaction. Everyone. And as soon as we speak something spiritual to people, as soon as we speak something which is related to Lord Sri Krishna, from Bhagavad Gita, from Srimad Bhagavatam, automatically, there is a satisfaction which comes in the heart. And I could see that today in the students. Even after the session, so she is getting different messages and she is forwarding it to me, and I'm receiving mails also. So this shows that everyone is craving, for the fulfillment of spiritual need. And that is the reason we see that so-called spiritual organizations, sometimes the bogus ones, they're flourishing. Because everyone wants something spiritual. And many of the so-called organizations which are not providing any spiritual stuff, but in the garb of spirituality, they're giving something else. But still, people are going there. Why? Because that craving is there, that need is there. If all of you have started this course, Gita course, from 23rd of August and continued till now, attending Sunday sessions, Thursday sessions. If we count today's session also, I guess it will be 28 sessions plus some special sessions. So we can say some 35 sessions or something, we had. Almost 1 month full sessions. You can say if every day if we would have had session, it would have been 1 full month of sessions. So this shows that everyone has that craving. Everyone wants that spiritual need to be fulfilled, but people don't know. Everyone has that hollowness within the heart. Everyone. There is no one in this world who can say that I have got everything and my heart is full. No. Even if we have everything and if Krishna is missing, heart will be still hollow, completely hollow. And there's a scene in so many celebrities, in so many rich people. This is seen that even if their house is filled with possessions, even if their bank account has got a good bank balance, if their nameplate is filled, with various degrees, but still, the person's heart will be hollow. Only and only and only when a person starts practicing bhakti under the guidance of a spiritual master, like Srila Prabhupada, our heart can be satisfied. So these are not my words. This is from Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam says, Savai Savai pumsa paro dharmo yatho bhakte radokshaje ahituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. This says that anyone who does bhakti of Adokshaja, Adokshaja is Krishna's another name. Anyone who does bhakti of Krishna, how? Apratihata. What was that? Savai pumsa paro dharma yatho bhakti radokshaje ahituki. Ahituki and apratihata. Unmotivated, without any motivation, and uninterrupted, without interrupting. What happens to that person? Yayatma, that personality, suprasidati, the heart will be completely satisfied, completely filled. Even if there are lots of problems around, still the heart will be filled. I'm so proud to share that so many of you have so many problems. Maybe I'm that one person who knows that how many of you have what all problems, the ones who have shared with me and your mentors. So some people have some in-laws problem, some people have husband, wife, whatever problems. Some people have kids problem. Some people have some problems in the office. But even after all that, now, and after these sessions, and the ones who are following whatever instructions were given in the sessions, that is chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, they are able to withstand all this. And withstanding is different. Withstanding, I guess, even common public can do to some extent. But then, withstanding and staying happy, this only devotees can do. Others cannot. And I feel really nice and very happy that all of you have got this wonderful path of bhakti, which is very, very rare. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, if I'm not wrong, I guess 18th shloka, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudevam sarvamiti samatma sudurlabha. So Krishna is saying that after many, many lifetimes, Bahunam janmanam, after many, many lifetimes, a person who is a jnani, a person who is intelligent, he comes to a conclusion that Vasudevam Sarvamiti. Vasudeva is everything, Krishna is everything, bhakti to him is everything. And Samatma, such a soul, is Sudurlabha. Durlabha means rare, and Sudurlabha means very, very rare. So we all belong to this category, Sudurlabha category. And my only request to all of y'all is you have started, now finish the race. Every single lifetime we have started the race, but we have given it in between. Enough, I'll sit now, I'll not go. But this lifetime, we cannot sit anywhere. We have to keep running and running and running till we reach the final destination. And Krishna is having his hands out like this. And we have to go run and touch Krishna's hands. That is attaining the final destination or perfection. We have to complete the race this time, at least this lifetime. This life should be given for Krishna. Yes, come on. We cannot now spend this life, wasting it anymore. With this life, we have to give for Krishna, to attain Krishna. Yes, he is doing so much for us. Can't we do little? Attaining him, who will get benefited? We will get benefited. What is the benefit for him? But still, he will be happy. He's like that eternal parent who becomes happy when the lost child, or when the child who has rejected the parent has gone and come back again to home. The happiness what a parent feels, the same happiness, or much, much greater happiness Krishna feels. Right? So with this mood, I request all of you all that please keep continuing to practice bhakti. And always remember, any point of time in your life, you feel to give up bhakti, remember, if bhakti is removed from life, what remains is a big zero. Yes? We might have everything. Those are all like zeros. Prabhupada says, our opulence is a zero, 1-0. Our education qualification is 1-0. Our family members are another zero. Relatives are another zero. So they're all zeros. And these zeros will have no value till there is a one in front. And that one is Krishna. And the day we come out of bhakti, the day we remove Krishna from our life, then surely this will happen. What will remain is just zeros. Our heart will have that hollowness again, and we will die with a regret that I couldn't complete the race. So I don't want any of my students, these Gita course students, to feel this at the time of death. At the time of death, we should be so jubilant, and just so jubilant that yes, I'm going to leave this body today, and Krishna is going to come to take me. That jubilance, should be there. That enthusiasm should be there at the time of death. Not the regret that I should have, given more. I should have given my best. Yes, this shouldn't be there at the time of death. Anyways, I can go on speaking like this. Now, let me take some questions now. So towards the end of sessions, this session around 8:30, I'm going to announce. There's some important announcements which I'm going to speak about, and some services for this month as well. So I request, if you have time, please stay back till 8:30, and let's discuss various services which are available, which we can do, and also regarding the felicitation function on Sunday. Okay, let me take questions now. Okay. Okay. So let me start with the Q&A sessions. I see on YouTube also there are 9 participants. So I'm having a watch on you people also. Okay. So last time I couldn't answer a few questions. Maybe I'll take those as well and then continue with today's session. Okay. Deepthi Madhavan has a very interesting question. This question is related to the session where we understood that Krishna is the supreme Lord above all the other gods. So if this is the case, then whom does Krishna meditate on? Aha, what a question. And the answer will also be aha only. So the answer to your question is Krishna meditates on his devotees. So it's like devotees meditate on Krishna and Krishna meditate on devotees. It is very nicely said in Srimad Bhagavatam, where Lord Narayan is telling Durvasa Muni that I know no one but my devotees, and my devotees know no one but me. Yes, and I cannot enjoy any opulence without my devotees. I am always lower than my devotees. Aham bhakta paradhino ya swatantra eva dvija sadhubir grasta hridayo bhakter bhakta priya janah. I am lower than my devotees. And Krishna takes pleasure in meditating on his devotees, in remembering his devotees. All the time Krishna remembers his devotees. Yes. Obviously in Dwarka Leela, it is very nicely described that Krishna would be there in 16,108 palaces. And Krishna would be there on his bed, with his wife in that particular palace. And it is very nicely described that just imagine if someone is wife of Krishna, why will they leave Krishna? So, they would be just besides Krishna, holding Krishna tightly. But Krishna, early in the morning, around 3 o'clock, he would get up, he would remove the hand of his wife, and then he would get up. And then, get ready, take bath. See, Krishna is not attached to anyone. He's not attached to anyone. He just removes the hand of his wife, and then, he just gets up and then takes bath, and then he sits for meditation. Now here the question is asked, whom does Krishna is meditating on? And there the answer is given, Krishna is meditating on himself. In Dwarka pastimes. And in Vrindavan pastimes, we have seen that Krishna meditates on his devotees. Once what happened is, Krishna was Krishna was sent to a nearby temple, okay, of Lord Vishnu. And Mother Yashoda, from the window, she was seeing what Krishna is doing. So Krishna was sitting, and then he was closing his eyes, and he was trying to meditate. So at that time, Mother Yashoda, she was looking, and she was so happy. My child, he has improved a lot. He is now meditating on Lord Vishnu. So she was not knowing that he's the source of Vishnu. What to talk about meditating on Vishnu? And then when he was meditating, what happened is, so there came a bird, parrot, and the parrot started chanting Radha, Radha, Radha. And Lord Shri Krishna, remembering his topmost devotee Srimati Radharani, he started chanting Radha, 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 and he continued chanting Radha, Radha, Radha. and Mother Yashoda is looking from the window and she is thinking that he's chanting Narayan, 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 and Krishna is chanting Radha, 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 and he's completely in ecstasy. Krishna is in ecstasy, remembering his topmost devotee, Srimati Radharani. So here, when we talk about whom does Krishna meditate on, Krishna meditates on his devotees. Yes, Krishna has, he is the super soul in everyone's heart. He knows, what his devotees want, what his devotees are thinking. So he's always focused on what his devotees want, what his devotees are hankering for, and Krishna is always ready to fulfill that. Yes. So Krishna's meditation is this: that how can I fulfill the desire of my pure devotees? And Krishna can never reject the desire of his pure devotees. Never. If Srila Prabhupada has told, Prabhupada has made a statement that anyone who chants 16 rounds, follow 4 regulative principles, read my books, distribute my books, do service, staying in ISKCON, connected with ISKCON, that person will go back home, back to Godhead. Now, even if Krishna does not want to take some living entity, some human being, but if that human being is following what Prabhupada said, Krishna would be forced to take that human being back home, back to Godhead, because his pure devotee Srila Prabhupada has made the statement, and Krishna has to fulfill the statement. Like when Prahlad Maharaj, he made a statement that my Lord is there in this pillar. And Krishna had no option. He had to appear from that pillar only. See, Krishna could have chosen ceiling, floor, any wall or any pillar, but Krishna chose only that pillar to come from, which Prahlad Maharaj pointed, only for one reason. Satyam vidhatum nija bhratya bhashitam, only to prove the statement of his bhritya, of his servant, of his devotee true. So all the time Krishna meditates on his devotees. Hope this answers your question. So if we also become pure devotees, we'll be tightly connected with Krishna. Why do Anita Kumar has a question, and this is another very elaborate question. Why do some sects in Hinduism believe and practice animal sacrifice? What does our Vedas and Shastras say about animal sacrifice? Okay. Yes, animal sacrifice is given in the Shastra. Animal sacrifice is given. If you remember, if you attended my sessions, all the sessions, in one of the sessions I described, I think 8th session part 2, in that I spoke about the Puranas. Tamasic Purana, Rajasic Puranas, and Sattvic Puranas. So Tamasic Purana talks about the Bali, that is Bali of animals, animal sacrifice. Now this animal sacrifice which is there, so the sophisticated one would happen during previous yugas. And these sacrifice would happen in a particular way, not the way it is happening now. Now people just cut the animal and then eat it. That's what people do. But this is not how the animal sacrifice happens. So previously in Treta Yuga and other ages, when the yagyas would be done, authentic yagyas with pure Brahmanas and pure ingredients, at that time, the yagyas would happen in a particular way. Now there will be 2 tests for the Brahmana's purity. The first test is, without using a matchbox, only through mantras, the Brahmana would lit the fire. Only by mantras. Even today we can do that, but that level of purity should be there. Yes, they had that purity, so they would lit. Another test of the mantras would be, the test of mantras and the test of Brahmanas would be that they would get an old animal and they would sacrifice the old animal in the fire, and that old animal which is sacrificed would come out of the fire with a new body, with a huge young body. Yes. So the test was that if they can give a new body to the animal, and if that is the case, then the Brahmana and the mantra both are verified very nicely. So in this way we see that when it comes to the animal sacrifice, this is how it is mentioned. This is how very nicely it is mentioned, that animal sacrifice was done by the Brahmanas for testing the Brahmanas' purity and testing the power of the mantra. Now in Kali Yuga this is not valid. No, we cannot do animal sacrifice now. Animal sacrifice is completely stopped. Yes, but still at some places it is happening, in villages especially. And I've personally witnessed this. I had gone to one of my relatives' place in his place, and there I could see that every 5 minutes, one day, one particular day, which was, they were calling it as a festival. I don't know what festival that was. Every 5 minutes, a goat would be got, and they would cut the goat, and the stream of blood was flowing like anything. And what about that dead goat? What they will do? They'll take home, cook, and eat. That's what they were doing. Yes. So in this way, we see that in this age of Kali, sacrifice means what? Sacrifice means doing something for the pleasure of higher powers. But now, sacrifice means just for showing off. Now they would cut the animal and then take home and then just sacrifice. I mean, eat nicely, whatever. So that is not sacrifice. And there is lots and lots of sin involved in this. Lots of sin involved. Because if you remember the statement that I had made, and also in the Shloka Day videos, I've made the statement that anything and everything that we do for our selfish motive, so that particular activity will bring lots and lots of papa, lots of sins. Yes. So this is animal sacrifice, and another place animal sacrifice is given, which can be done in this age. Now there are people who are very much addicted to meat eating. So meat eating is prohibited according to the Shastra. But the ones who are addicted to meat eating, for them it is recommended how to eat meat. So it is described there are 6 people who share the sin when it comes to meat eating. And sometimes people say, I'm just eating. I'm not. No. By the way, I was a meat eater 10 years back. So I used to say this, and also I would see my friends and other people, and even now I hear from many people that I'm just eating. I'm not killing the animal. I'm just eating. So Shastras are very, very clever. They say 6 people are involved. And I think we'll discuss that in our second, the advanced course. So 6 people are involved. The person who takes care of the animal, the person who selects the animal, the person who kills the animal, the person who purchases the animal, the flesh, then the person who is cooking and the person who is eating. So all 6 of them share the sin equally. So it is described in the scriptures, the one who is very much addicted to meat. So on the day of Amavasya, that person should take the animal, and the animals are also mentioned, and one of them is goat. So they can take that animal to the outside temple, a temple outside the village, and that temple would be either of Kali, Bhadra Kali, the ghastly form of goddess Durga, or ghastly form of Lord Shiva. So those temples are always there outside the village. So there they can take the animal, and they themselves have to cut the animal as a sacrifice in front of the goddess Kali or Lord Shiva. And before that, he should tell in the ear of that animal, Mamsa, Mamsa, Mamsa. And Mamsa means we are committing to the animal that you become me, I become you in the next life. So what I am doing to you now, you can do that to me next life. So the commitment is there. So karma commitment is happening. And then after that, he's expected to cut the animal, clean the animal, cook the meat and eat, and clean the place and leave. Now you see, why is it given in the Shastra? We should understand it very clearly. It's not a permission for everyone. No, it's basically a permission for those people who are too much addicted to it, and so that they can elevate themselves to higher consciousness. So there are restrictions put here, right? A person who is lazy, person who is in mode of ignorance, firstly, you have to wait till Amavasya, which comes once in a month. Then he has to take the animal, go outside the village, do all that endeavor to kill and cut and cook and eat. So the person will start thinking, who will do all this? Leave it. No, I'll not eat. So like this, slowly and steadily, he'll give it up. Right? So in this way, there is elevation of consciousness, and that's how this Tamasic Purana talks about this. And slowly, that person in the tamasa, in the mode of ignorance, he'll start elevating to the mode of passion, and then mode of goodness, and then he'll come to the platform of doing Krishna Bhakti. Now that's very rare, from a person going from high to low, but still it will happen if there is mercy of a devotee on that person. Yes. So these are the 2 animal sacrifices mentioned. So one, for previous yugas, where they were testing the power of the mantra and the power of the Brahmana by giving an animal in the putting the animal or sacrificing the animal in the fire, and the animal would come out, with a new healthy body, young, new and healthy body. And the second one is for the Kali Yuga people who are very much addicted to meat eating. So for them, the Tamasic Purana talks about how they can eat meat that is once in a month on the day of Amavasya, going out of the village, not contaminating the village, going out of the village, he himself doing all the activities. Why all the activities? So that he himself should suffer for all the sins, which are distributed to 6 people. So he has to do all the activities what 6 people are doing. Yes. So single-handedly he should do all that. And I personally saw this. Once I went to my village. This was, I think, 5-6 years back. So we had gone to a place which was outside the village. One of the Lord Shiva's temple, ghastly form of Lord Shiva. And there we could see, there were people who were doing this. They were giving bali and they were cooking and they were eating and they were cleaning the place also before leaving. I could see all that. So this is the amazing thing about Shastra. Amazing thing about Vedic scriptures is it does not reject anyone. It includes everyone, and to everyone there is a path of elevation given. So a person who is on this level, there's a different path given where the person can directly jump up. A person is on a very, very low platform. For him, step by step is given. Oh, you're too addicted? Okay, go ahead. Do this, do this, do this. Like for a small child, KG section, A for apple, B for ball, and so on and so forth. Same thing for people in mode of ignorance. ABCD is given for them. And people who are in mode of goodness, they are taught about quadratic equations and whatever, calculus or whatever, complex, and they're taken up. That is love of God. Yes. So this is the basis of animal sacrifice. But now in India, there are many, many people who take advantage of this given in Shastra, not reading it properly, and they're committing a lot of sins. In fact, even Brahmanas who are wearing thread, they are doing this saying, oh, there is sanction in the scriptures. There is sanction. Nonsense. So this is what is meant by animal sacrifice. Hope I answer your question. Yes. Let me take another question now. Why is it that there are so many religions? Why is it that even God have to undergo curses? Why there are so many religions? I have answered in the first Q&A session. You can go back and revisit that. First or second Q&A session. I answered it elaborately. Basically, different times, different need was there depending on the level of people. And based on that, Lord sent his prophets, his messengers. And that's how we see different religions have emerged in different situations and circumstances. And the prayers also which are offered in such faiths are different. Like for example, we see in one of the faith, it is given in 5th surah that one shouldn't have sex with mother and sister. Now to have sex with mother and sister, a person from Sanatan Dharma can never imagine. Never. But then it is given because at that time that situation was there. And the prophet has to tell them that, no, you shouldn't do this. No, it's not correct. So it was given in their scripture. It was given in the holy book. And another faith, in different commandments, it is given that one should pray for daily bread and butter. It's a duty. One should love the neighbor, like oneself. So all these statements are given. Now, the chaotic situation was there, where people are not staying in harmony. And there was lots and lots of scarcity of food because, these faiths or these religions emerged in desert areas. So at that time, these prayers were given that you offer these prayers and things will manifest very nicely. And prophets did that. They did miracles and they established the importance of the prayers given in the holy books. But then if you properly analyze, all these things are not very much emphasized when it comes to Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is not telling Arjuna on the battlefield, don't have sex with your mother and sister. Krishna is telling something very, very higher. Very, very higher. He's talking about how to break the cycle of birth and death. He's talking about that throughout Bhagavad Gita. And there are so many other instructions which Krishna is giving. And other faiths, it is very nicely mentioned. The prophets are saying themselves. I came across these verses. I don't know what they call it as. We call it as verses. So they're saying, prophets are saying that I want to tell you more, but you're not ready to accept. You're not in a position to accept. So this was really a revealing statement. Whereas Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, after hearing this, oh Arjuna, you have nothing more to explore and nothing more to know. So Krishna is giving full knowledge in Bhagavad Gita, right? So these different religions have emerged so that it can help people to elevate to different consciousness, on a higher consciousness level, and finally come to the platform of aspiring to break the cycle of birth and death. Now, it's very difficult for people to understand that the goal is to break the cycle of birth and death. So there are so many faiths which just talk about heaven and hell. They don't talk beyond that. Yes. And also, we will see that the form of Lord is not described in various religions. Because people are not ready to understand the form of Lord. They just say that he's very powerful. He's very merciful. These are the statements used. But then form of the Lord is not given. Yes, because people are not ready to accept. Ready to accept and also ready to understand. It's like for first standard student, I can just speak 1 plus 1 equal to 2. I cannot ask him what is a plus b the whole square. Yes. And for a person who is doing his graduation or BTech or whatever, for him I can ask, what is d by dx a plus b the whole square? Please expand and let me know what is the solution of this calculus equation. So yes, that person would be able to do that. But same question I cannot ask to a small child. So a teacher is very intelligent, where the teacher would say that you start from 1 plus 1 equal to 2. And sometimes, this is seen, at least I've also experienced in my childhood. Now the teacher is saying 3 minus 2 equal to, and then she'll show 3, 1, 2. How much remains? 1. So 3 minus 2 equal to 1. And they give examples also. I have 3 mangoes. And suppose I give 2 mangoes to this person. How many mangoes I'll have? 1 mango. And now there'll be some student who will ask this question. Ma'am, what about 2 minus 3? And the ma'am at that time, she would say, the teacher would say, this is not correct. This is invalid equation, or this is not a valid statement. But this is a valid statement. But for the child to understand step by step, the teacher at that point of time, she says, as of now, it's invalid. Don't look at this particular thing. Because how will she explain a KG kid 2 minus 3, 1, 2, where is the third mango? And what do you mean by minus 1? So when she's dealing with mangoes, where she will get minus mango? Yeah, so very difficult. So at that point of time, she will say that this doesn't exist. That's what Gautam Buddha did. So Gautam Buddha is the ninth incarnation of the Lord, ninth incarnation of Lord Krishna. In Dasha Avatara, I guess it is given in the ninth incarnation. So he's an incarnation of the Lord. But then you know what he did? He told his followers, reject Vedas. Why? Because at that time, animal sacrifice was happening. The thing, okay, this is a link to what I just spoke. So I can easily convey the message now. So the Brahmanas lost their power. They lost their purity. And what they started doing? Cutting the animal, putting the animal in the fire, and the animal sacrifice was going rampant like this. Improper animal sacrifice. And Gautam Buddha was seeing this. And when he started talking to Brahmanas, and Brahmanas were like, it is given in the Vedas. And at that time, since the consciousness of those Brahmanas was low, what did the Gautam Buddha tell at that time? Vedas are false, reject it. You just follow me. So Lord tricked the followers at that time. If someone follows Gautam Buddha properly and follows his whatever principles he has given, you see non-violence takes the prominence in Buddhism. Why? Because violence was happening at that time. So Gautam Buddha, he came and then he gave this. Lord himself is giving. He is saying reject the Vedas and this is what I'm telling you. Follow these principles. And he gave some 5-6 important ones, and there are some secondary ones also. So what is Lord trying to do? Lord is trying to patch the problematic situation. Yes. So this is what Lord is doing. So when 2 minus 3, the Brahmana is saying 2 minus 3, and Lord is saying invalid, reject the Vedas. No, that's not needed as of now. You are not eligible to understand. Better you start from 1 plus 1, 2. Start from there. So in this way, different religions have emerged at different times, depending on the consciousness level of the person and the situation and circumstance in which they are. And we will see that depending on that particular situation, there will be a patch that will be given to solve that particular problem. And that patch, if properly followed, by those people in that particular religion, following that particular faith, their consciousness will, really evolve. But unfortunately, we are seeing in various religions that, for that matter, even when it comes to Sanatan Dharma, that is ours, What is happening? People are not following the scriptures as it is given by the messengers. Hmm. And that is the reason we are seeing that some religions are really ghastly and destructive nowadays. It's like crazy, crazy. And they're forming their own slogans, and they're trying to create so much of violence around, because it's not followed. The scriptures are not followed. No scripture will talk about killing someone. This is very clear. No scripture can talk about that, because Lord has sent the prophet, and prophet are the messengers of the Lord, and Lord, and for all the living entities are the kids of the Lord. Why will the Lord tell to kill anyone? Yes, but this is happening because people are not following the scriptures properly given by their messengers. Yes. And a very, very nice thing for all of us, all the ones who are following Sanatan Dharma, for all of us, our Sanatan Dharma is like a Chambers dictionary, which has got everything which other religions have. And all the other religions, which are there, they have emerged from Sanatan Dharma, and they're like pocket dictionaries. I was very happy when I came across different, what to say, books of different faiths, and when I started reading it, and started comparing, I could find so many things, which are given in the Sanatan Dharma, mentioned in those places. Yes. So in this way, we see that religions have emerged for a particular purpose, to help people to elevate their consciousness to a higher level. And people who take birth in Sanatan Dharma, they already have an elevated consciousness, but they have to elevate it more and go beyond the three modes of material nature. Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, shloka number 45. Traigunyo Vishaya Veda Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvasto Niryoga Kshemam Matmavan. So Krishna is saying that, oh Arjuna, go beyond the three modes of material nature which are mentioned in the Vedic scriptures. So Krishna is giving a very, very high goal, for the people in Sanatan Dharma. Go beyond this and break the cycle of birth and death. And don't stop at heaven. Go to Goloka Vrindavan. Go out of this material world. Go out of these 14 planetary systems. Right. So in this way, we see that different religions have emerged depending on the situation, circumstance, consciousness of the person, and they all have come, from their offshoots of Sanatan Dharma. And Bhavishya Puran very nicely talks about various faiths coming out as offshoots of Sanatan Dharma. Yes. And more I've spoken that day. You can go back and you can listen to session 1 or session 2 Q&A. Hope this helps you to understand how great the Sanatan Dharma is, and how merciful the Lord is, that he never rejects anyone. He's sending his prophets, he's sending his messengers to tell, alright, go and help them to elevate their consciousness. How much more they will remain in this lowly consciousness. Yes. And the second question of yours is, why is it that even God have to undergo curses? God will not undergo curses. There are obviously pastimes where Lord is acting that he's undergoing curses, but it is his Leela, where he wants to give importance to the mantras chanted by the Brahmanas, and the importance to the Brahmanas, telling that these people are very important for me. Only for that Krishna is undergoing or taking those curses, or else Krishna is saying that go beyond three modes of material nature. So Krishna himself is beyond three modes of material nature, because he has created, right, three modes of material nature. So he'll be beyond. He's the creator. So why will he come under the three modes of material nature, the curse which is in the three modes of material nature? Why? It will not happen. So logically, if we see, Krishna can never come. He can never get any curse. But if Krishna desires to take some curse by himself and show that he is undergoing some pain, he can do that. He's Supreme Personality, he can do anything. So that's how it is. Just to prove the importance of Brahmanas and the mantras, Krishna takes, or Krishna undergoes or accepts the curse, and then he shows that he's undergoing some pain or whatever. Yes. Next question. We should behave like Prahlad or fight like Arjun for our rights, as the saying is, God help those who help themselves. Okay. Should we fight like Prahlad or fight like Arjun? Please understand, there is something called as adhikar. Adhikar means, what should I say? English synonym for adhikar. Adhikar means one's right, or one's responsibility. No, responsibility is not the right word. I'm not getting the right word. You can, as of now, you can just consider it as one's right to do something. Or qualification. Yeah, qualification is the right word. Adhikar. No, everyone has their adhikar. Everyone has their own qualification. So Kshatriyas like Arjuna, they are expected to fight. But Brahmanas are not expected to fight. So when it comes to Arjun, he is the king and he's supposed to set dharma and fight against adharma. So this is what his role is. This is what his dharma is. So he has to do that as a Kshatriya. But a Brahmana, he cannot do that. Like for example, Vishwamitra Muni. So Vishwamitra was a Brahmana. But then still, correct me if it was Vishwamitra or it was Vashishta. Who came to take Ram, Lord Ramchandra? Vishwamitra only, right? Vishwamitra, right? Who came to take Lord Ramchandra? Anyone knows? Vishwamitra. Okay. So Vishwamitra came to take Lord Ramchandra. Now Vishwamitra himself was very powerful. To kill those demons, Tataka and others who were there, he could have done just by chanting a mantra. But then since he was a Brahmana, he follows non-violence. So Brahmana will not do violence. So what did Vishwamitra do? He went to take help of a Kshatriya. He went and then he took the help of a Kshatriya, that is Dashrath Maharaj, and he asked for Lord Ramchandra. And he took Lord Ramchandra and he did that. He did that. So there's adhikar, there's qualification that a person should have to do something. So it is the duty of the Kshatriyas to fight. It is the duty of Brahmanas to guide the society. It is the duty of the Vaishyas to make sure that the businesses are happening properly. And the duty of the Shudras is to serve the higher class of people. So depending on which category we belong to, we should act accordingly. But now your question talks about Prahlad Maharaj and Arjun. And if we are talking about the devotional aspect, so we can see that both of them were doing only one thing. What were they doing? They were trying to give pleasure to Krishna. Arjun was trying to give pleasure to Krishna by fighting because Krishna was telling him to fight. And what was Prahlad doing? Prahlad was chanting the holy names of the Lord and he was giving pleasure to Krishna. So both of them, they were giving pleasure to Krishna in their own way. So that's what is seen in these personalities. And when it comes to us in this age of Kali Yuga, Krishna makes it very clear. How will he be pleased in this age of Kali Yuga? By following the dharma of Kali Yuga. And what is the dharma of Kali Yuga? Krutaya dhyayato vishnum tretayam yajato makhai dvapare paricharyayam kalau tadhari kirtanat. Satyuga, the dharma was meditation. Treta Yuga, dharma was yajna. And Dwapar Yuga, dharma was deity worship. And now in the age of Kali Yuga, dharma is chanting the holy names of the Lord. So if we are chanting the holy names of the Lord, then we are giving pleasure to Krishna. Yes. So we cannot concoct a new way. Whatever Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, that's what we have to follow. And Krishna says that Japosmi, I am in all the processes, I am the chanting of the holy names. He says that. I guess we chanted that in the 10th chapter, Bhagavad Gita. So in this way, we see that Krishna will be pleased in the age of Kali Yuga by chanting. So we have to decide our activities by asking this question: how will Lord Sri Krishna be pleased? And we will get the answer from Shastra. Now in the age of Kali Yuga, it is chanting the holy names of the Lord. Now to fight or not fight. So that particular, now basically your question is more about, should we tolerate or retaliate? That's what your question mostly talks about. So tolerate, retaliate, now it depends on what our situation is. We will see this in the divine and demoniac qualities session in our advanced course. So in that we will discuss about tolerance, we'll discuss about patience and other things. So yes, we are expected to tolerate. And to a great extent we are expected to tolerate. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnunam. So coming Sunday morning, I'm going to speak on this shloka, in the morning session, Japa session at 6 a.m. So there, this particular shloka says, tarorapi sahishnunam. One should be more tolerant than a tree. Then it will become easy to practice bhakti. And why Krishna is saying be tolerant? Even to Arjuna is telling, tam titikshasva bharata, just tolerate. Why is he telling to tolerate? Because we see that with time people change, with time situations change, with time circumstances change. So why should we contaminate our mind and our actions and our words by giving back or retaliating against some person, going against some person? And whenever we shout at someone, whenever we fight with someone, what happens? We get contaminated. Our consciousness becomes dirty and we get disturbed. I'm sure all of you will agree. Whenever there's a fight, we get disturbed. And disturbed mind, it's very difficult to practice bhakti. So Krishna says, Tam titikshasva, tolerate. Krishna as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's telling, Tarorapi saishnunam, more tolerate than a tree. Tolerate more than a tree. How much a tree tolerates? Standing at one place, it takes the rain and sun and summer, winter or whatever. And then when the person who comes to cut the tree gives the shade to that person also. That's the tolerance level of the tree. And here, Krishna is saying, tolerate more than a tree. My God. But then, it's also recommended in Shastra that it is said, don't be violent against someone. But then, it is also said that don't bite, but you can show your fangs. I repeat, don't bite, but you can show your fangs. And just by showing fangs, the things will be done. Yes, things will be done. So this is what is told. But if we are in some responsible position, like some government official, some constable or whatever, some cop, soldier, so we are Kshatriyas, so it's expected that Kshatriyas should fight. But as normal citizens, we are not expected to go out on the road with a gun and then shoot people and things like that. No, that's not there. Hope this answers your question. Okay, Bhagavad Gita books have all the verses in Sanskrit. When Gita was explained before the war, in which language was it explained by the Lord? Was it in the form of shlokas itself? So Anup Prabhu is asking this question. Nice question. So Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavat means Bhagavan and Gita means the song. Song sung by Lord Sri Krishna is called Bhagavad Gita. Yes. So Lord sung these verses, not to Arjuna. This Sanskrit verse is called as Dev Bhasha. So this language is called as Dev Bhasha. So Devi Devta speaks Sanskrit. Krishna speaks Sanskrit. On the battlefield, the Sanskrit language is going on. So that's what is there. So original, whatever Krishna spoke, those are the verses given in Bhagavad Gita. So it is not that some concocted stuff. This is what Krishna spoke, and this is what is given in Bhagavad Gita. Yes. Next is why do we have so many religions and some concepts of other religions are also different? I think I answered this question, Ria. What are the importance of the Vedas? Are non-Brahmins and girls not allowed to read the Vedas? Now, see, before in the Vedic times, there were Gurukul system, and in Gurukul only boys were sent. So boys were trained under a guru, and girls were trained at home by the mothers. That's how it was. So there was no mixed culture, where girl and boy are sitting together and things like that. No, the boys were separate. They were sent to Gurukul. From the age of 5, and girls would be trained at home in various household works and various expertise basically. So all those things would be taught at home. So all these Vedic scriptures were written for the Gurukulis, the ones who were in Gurukul. Yes, so that is the reason there might be some statements that it is forbidden for girls or whatever, for Stri Shudra Dvija Bandhu. It might be given like that. So these 3 categories were not allowed. Stri, females; Shudras, the people who were at a very low class; and Dvija Bandhu, who are born in a Brahman family or Kshatriya family, but then they are not following the principles of that particular family. So they were not allowed to read Vedas, or they were not allowed to go through the Vedic scriptures because they were not qualified. This is what it was assumed at that time, because they cannot go to Gurukul, and if they start reading by themselves, they'll be misinterpreting it. So it was not allowed. But now in the age of Kali Yuga, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, all of us have Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam with us, and everyone can read that. Forget about male, female, whatever, because when we start practicing bhakti, we all are on the soul platform. So there is no question of male, female and things like that. When we are on soul platform, everyone is spirit soul, everyone is spiritual, and everyone can practice bhakti. Chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and other things. In fact, it is so obvious that even when the females in the during the time when they are considered impure in the month, for 5 days, even in that time, they can chant on beads. They can still chant on beads. No need to stop that. That's how universal this Sanatan Dharma is. That's how universal this Bhagavad Dharma of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is. So this is how it is. So everyone can practice bhakti without the difference of caste, creed, religion, male, female, whatever. Hope this answers your question, and hope this also encourages everyone, to practice devotional service. Okay, about Jagannath, Anita is asking, is Lord Krishna's heart still preserved in Jagannath Puri temple? I have read about it. Okay, now this is a secret, which this is a secret, and this is not revealed also. The Daityas there, the Pujaris there in the temple, they know. And there's a lot of things, a lot of rituals are followed when there is Navakalaviram, that is changing the deities after some more than a decade span of time. So they change the deities of Jagannath. So at that time, yes, the Pujari is blindfolded, and then in a dark room he goes, and then he takes something from the old deity and he pushes that in the new deity. Now, what is that something? That's a question mark. That is not revealed anywhere. That only they know. And the Pujari is expected that he doesn't speak. And it is also seen that the Pujaris die after some time, a week or two after that. The Pujaris die also. So it's a great celebration that he has done the service and he is leaving the body, something like that. So it's confidential. So it's not given anywhere as such, to talk about. Okay, so let me take. It's already 8:17. Maybe one question from the category called life, and then we'll stop. Okay. So there is no question on life today. Okay, chanting. Okay, today, yeah, chanting. Something is there. So Prashanti Mataji is asking this question: what actually we should do? Whether chanting of Krishna bliss form, or should we do more forms of bhakti? Okay. What actually we should do? Whether chanting of Krishna bliss form. I don't know what your question basically means. Maybe I can say that maybe if I'm understanding correct, whether we should do chanting or we should practice other forms of bhakti. See, chanting is the primary thing in the age of Kali Yuga. Okay, there is no question of anything replacing chanting. So chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the primary thing in the age of Kali Yuga. We cannot replace anything with chanting the holy names of the Lord. And along with that, yes, there is reading, hearing, and other things. Reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and various other scriptures. Hearing from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. So all that is there. Puja is there. That is deity worship. So deity worship is also recommended for grihasthas, for the married people. So they should have a temple and home, and they should have a nice worship. We'll speak about deity worship in our advanced course. I'll see if I can take a detailed session on that, because many people have this question, how to worship and things like that. So maybe in one Q&A session, maybe I can cover that, or one of the main sessions I'll try to cover. So in this way, we see that in the age of Kali Yuga, if we cannot do anything, the main important thing expected or expectation from us is chanting the holy names. And along with that, if we have more time, then other things are recommended, which are there. Navavidha Bhakti, basically. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Mandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. These are Navavidha Bhakti, 9 processes of Bhakti. Out of this, Shravanam, Kirtanam are very, very important in the age of Kali Yuga. And when we advance, yes, other things also can be practiced depending on how much time we have. But the main thing is Shravanam and Kirtanam, especially chanting of the holy names. That is chanting the holy names, hearing the holy names. So hope this answers your question. Another question is, what is this? Shri Namya Bhagavatya Vasud Vasudvin Namaha mantra for chanting any timing, Prabhuji. I have not heard this mantra, I'm sorry. I have not come across this mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya is what I have come across in Srimad Bhagavatam, which Prahlad Maharaj was also chanting. See, anything apart from the Hare Krishna Mahamantra has got rules and regulations. Okay? Any mantra, any Vedic mantra, any Vedic hymn, we cannot chant anytime and every time. And everyone can also not chant. Only people who has taken Brahman Diksha, they can chant. The ones who are wearing thread, chanting or doing Sandhya Vandanam, etc. So only they have the authority to chant those mantras at certain times of the day, especially in Brahma Muhurta, early in the morning from 3:40 to 6 o'clock. That is the time slot of Brahma Muhurta in India, normally. In winters, it comes to 7 o'clock also sometimes. So in this way, we understand that except for Hare Krishna Mahamantra, every single Vedic hymn has got some or the other rules and regulations. And if not followed, there will be a negative effect of it. Negative effect of it. So this is very, very important. So when I got when I got Diksha, so at that time, there are some mantras given. So now those mantras, I cannot chant anywhere and everywhere. I cannot go to washroom and chant those mantras. If I do that, I'll be cursed like anything, by those mantras. So I have to do Achman. There's a process of purification, sipping the water and chanting some mantras. Before that, I should be taking bath, having clean clothes, then sipping the water and sitting in front of the Lord, on a mat made up of kusha grass or a nice cloth. And then after sitting on that, with a proper mood, then praying to the Lord, begging for the mercy of the Lord, then I can start chanting the mantra with focus. So I cannot chant anywhere and everywhere, like we chant Mahamantra. Mahamantra, people dance in the bathroom under the shower and chant. They sing Mahamantra. They're attending nature's call and people sing Mahamantra. So Mahamantra is that universal. But other mantras, we have to take care. All the other mantras will have time, place, circumstance, and person. So these four: time, place, circumstance, and person. These four restrictions will be there in every single other mantra other than the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hope this answers your question. Okay, last question for today. Why every time I got tears in my eyes whenever I chant the Mahamantra? Okay. And Prabhuji, you said that in the age of Kali, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is enough. Then why do people do yagyas, meditation, or deity worship? Oh, regarding the tears coming from the eyes, it's very nice that tears are coming from the eyes. But then if we keep chanting, for a long time, and we chant 16 rounds, and the tears keep coming throughout our lifetime, that's a great thing. Initially, maybe it might be some emotional sentiment to the Lord. That's good. No, that's always good. Anything in bhakti is good. But then, we cannot say that that is the perfection. No, actually, perfection is when we get rid of kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, when we become purified, and when our entire existence is given for giving pleasure to the Lord. When we work for giving pleasure to the Lord all the time, without selfish endeavors for our own pleasure, in such a situation where we are just loving God, at that time when the tears come from the eyes, so that is considered to be very, very exalted, very, very high level. So as of now, in the neophyte stage, when we are new, when the tears are coming, that's good. There is some emotion, there is some connect with the Lord, but then that is not perfection. So we shouldn't be bewildered with that. And with time, the tears will go away. Don't worry. Maybe after some time, the tears would come. That when would chanting get over? Yes. And another question was about yagya. So still yagyas and deity worship are done. Deity worship is still needed, so that we do some tangible service to the Lord with our own hands. So deity worship is needed. After some qualification, deity worship a person can do. So there are some set of things before doing deity worship they have to follow. And when it comes to yagyas, there are some yagyas which are recommended to do. Like for example, the yagyas in samskara. We have various samskaras. There are, if I'm not wrong, dasha samskara, 10 samskaras are there in the entire life. Like we have Garbhadan Samskar, then Namkaran Samskar, Nasimanta Samskar, and Mundan Samskar, and all that. In all these samskaras, yajnas are done, and yajnas are recommended also, in that. But these yajnas are not the yajnas of Treta Yuga. Treta Yuga yajnas will be very, very elaborate. Full day they would be doing. These yajnas are just for 1 hour, where we keep putting the ghee and lot of smoke keep coming and we inhale and then when will this get over? That is the mood. But Treta Yuga yajnas were like completely different. And Treta Yuga deity worship was completely different. So we are not doing that. We are doing all this because this aids our chanting. We do deity worship because deity worship aids our chanting. We do yajnas because yajnas will aid our chanting. No, it will assist our chanting. So in this age of Kali Yuga, every activity that we do it because they assist our chanting. Okay, hope this answers your question. Okay, so I pause here the Q&A session, and there's some announcements, important announcement. One is regarding the felicitation function, and I've kept a strict rule that they will receive certificates who have completed all 14 sessions, either live, they have watched here on Zoom, or they have watched on YouTube. If they have watched on YouTube, they have to tell to their mentors and summarize what they have heard there. And everyone has to attempt all the quizzes. And I'm very happy to tell here that 98 people have completed all 14 sessions and all 14 quizzes. All glories to you, all glories. And it's really amazing because it's not easy, but you have done it. And there are many, like, so there are 145 people who have attended all the sessions. 145 people have attended all the 14 sessions, but only 124 people out of that have attempted all the quizzes. So still that bracket, that is 22 people have not attempted the quizzes. So I request, if you are in this category, please attempt the quizzes because you already attended the sessions. Only thing that you need to do is attempt these quizzes. And there are 14 of people who have attended all 13 sessions. Only one session is remaining. So I request you that complete that. And it is said that 8 quizzes they have attempted. 8 of them have completed all the quizzes. So rest who are there, try to complete the other quizzes. So why to wait? And there are others also, the ones who have attended 12 sessions. 46 people have attended 12 sessions. 68 people have attended 11 sessions. 56 people have attended 10 sessions. So only thing that you have to do is just watch these videos. You still have time. Today is Thursday, Friday. Now till Saturday also, if you tell, no problem. We can consider. So you can watch the video, simple. Whatever work you're doing, just plug in and here. And get few points, tell your mentors, and your attendance will be considered. And quiz is nothing. Just click on the button, click that link, and there'll be some 5-6 questions. Answer that, simple. It will hardly take some 5 to 10 minutes max. Yes. And another question which is coming up is, if I'm not receiving certificate, am I eligible to go to level 2 advanced Gita course? And the answer is yes. Everyone, irrespective of the certificates received or not received, you are welcome. You are eligible for attending the level 2 advanced Gita course. Yes. So the certificate and in admission to level 2 is not linked. Yes. So you are welcome. I'll be happy to have the same crowd in level 2 Gita course also. Okay, and regarding this month service. So since this is a small group, I would like to announce this. This is for the people who are staying in Belandur, Panatur, Marathali, ACS layout, this area. So anyone who would be taking Bhagavatam set, so I would personally come to install that in your house. I'd personally come to deliver and do the necessary worship that is needed. Because Bhagavatam is very, very dear to my heart, and I would like to do this personally. So what is Srimad Bhagavatam? Srimad Bhagavatam is a very, very wonderful scripture. So Bhagavad Gita is the instructions of Krishna, and Bhagavatam is all the case studies of implementing those instructions. And it also has all the leelas of the Lord. All the leelas, all the avatars and all the leelas of the Lord are given there. And very, very amazing book. So there are 18 volumes, like we have Bhagavad Gita like that. We have 18 books in this set of Bhagavatam set. And every single verse is a gem. There are 18,000 verses and amazing verses. If someone gets a taste in reading that, then the person throughout his life, he can enjoy doing that. And it is recommended that we should have Bhagavatam set. We read or we don't read. it's very, very auspicious to have Bhagavatam, in our house. Even if it is there in the box all the time, no problem, but it should be there. And some people nicely decorate in the shelf because they look very beautiful. So that is also okay, because one or the other time, by the mercy of Krishna, we will start reading that. Yes. So if you are there in this area around, because I cannot travel to other places, this place is somewhere, Marathali, ACS layout, then this Panatur, Belandur, Sarjapur, these areas, if you're staying, HL, so I can personally come and deliver and do the necessary worship in your house and leave. Yes. And this I'll be personally coordinating. So if you want a Bhagavatam set for yourself, please text me personally. I'll be coordinating this. This is not available on the store, on our internet, on our site also. So the cost of this, I guess, is ranging between 5,500 to 6,500 or 7,000, depending on which language you need. Almost all the languages are available. Okay. So today itself, you please ping me so that I can find out if it's available. If it's not available, we'll order it from Mumbai. So it has to come from Mumbai. And this book I want everyone to have. This Krishna book. Yes. And I would like to tell about this book before I tell you what is there in the book. So what happened is Prabhupada was pretty old, because he started the movement, this Hare Krishna Andolan, in his 70s, towards the end, almost towards the end of his life. He was thinking that maybe he'll not be able to complete the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So in that anxiety, Prabhupada wrote all the pastimes as a summary in this book. So in this we have all the pastimes of the Lord. So you can see in the index, we will see that there are, let me tell you the number of pastimes given. There are 90 pastimes of Krishna. 90 pastimes of Krishna, 90. Vrindavan, what Krishna did. In Mathura, what Krishna did. In Dwarka, what Krishna did. So all that is given here. And all Krishna's pastimes related with his devotees, and what his sons, Krishna's sons and grandsons did, that is also mentioned in this. Very, very amazing book, one of my favorite. And Prabhupada has told that before sleeping at night, at least few pages we can read and sleep. Because story, it's almost everything is story here. Not much of philosophy. Philosophy is also there, but not much. And there are nice photos. This is what is my favorite. So amazing photos. And these paintings were made under the guidance of Srila Prabhupada. So these are made by the disciples of Prabhupada, these paintings. And these paintings are really beautiful. These are under the guidance of Srila Prabhupada. They would go and show it to Prabhupada and ask, this is how Krishna looks, this is how the pastime happened, and Prabhupada would sanction that. Oh yes, this is right, this is not correct, this you should change, that you should change. So this is the book. I would request that all of you should have this book. Make sure that you have this book. This is very, very important. And before sleeping at night, read 1 or 2 pages. And Prabhupada has told, anyone who reads Krishna book every day, Prabhupada's statement, not my statement. He has told anyone who reads Krishna book every day in the night before sleeping, Krishna will come in the dream personally, one or the other day. This is the statement of a pure devotee, and he has no, Krishna has no option but to come and give his darshan in the dream. Krishna and Krishna Leela are different book. No, this Krishna book is basically having all the Krishna Leela. This is basically a summary of what is given in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So I talked about Bhagavatam. So in Bhagavatam, there are 3 volumes which just talks about what is given in this. So the summary is given in this book. What is the name of the book? Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is available in all the languages. So this is one. And I have taken this, a goal of offering 5,000 books to Srila Prabhupada as an offering in this book distribution marathon. And I cannot do it. I'm depending on all of you all. Okay. So I request all of you all that, please, assist in this particular offering to Prabhupada. Till now, some 1,050 books have been distributed. 1,050. So either people have purchased for themselves, or they have gifted it to someone, or they have donated. That is Gita Dan. So anything, whatever you want to do, you do. But then, 5,000 books we need to offer, to Srila Prabhupada. So please do it. We still have today's 17th, and we have a few more days to go. Yes. So we just have 13 more days to go. And I request all of you all with folded hands that please help me offering this offering to Prabhupada. 5,000 books. Now I want to offer 5,000 books to Prabhupada. And only if you all can assist, it will happen. So all these Bhagavatam sets, Krishna book, Bhagavad Gita, whatever you are purchasing for yourself, please tell or send that receipt, e-receipt to Deepak Prashant Prabhu, the finance in charge, or to your mentor. That also will be counted, in this offering. So please make sure that you do this, and your names will be read in the Yajna, the Gita Yajna that will happen on 25th of this month, the Gita Jayanti day. Now, either in our center or in Kurukshetra, it is happening. And if not, then anyways, Krishna knows who has done this offering. This offering is anyways accepted. Yes. So I request all of you all that please participate. In this, please help me offer 5,000 books to Srila Prabhupada. Only 1,000 books have been offered till now. 4,000 more are remaining. So I request you all to do this. Very simple. Either you purchase or you gift it to someone, convince someone to purchase, or you donate some Bhagavad Gitas to the Lord. On the day of Ekadashi, 108 Bhagavad Gitas, if you are well-to-do, if you can donate 108 Bhagavad Gitas, it is very, very auspicious. Very, very auspicious. So all this is there. And one last announcement for the day before we end. So Hemlata is saying, I have got 5 copies of Bhagavad Gita and 5 copies of Krishna book. Jai. Nice. So one last service is on coming Saturday. We are doing a marathon, and this marathon is on Saturday from 6:30 to 8:30. We are going to come on Zoom. Yes, we are going to switch on our videos, mute, and there will be some contacts which will be assigned to us, and we have to call those contacts, and like call center people, like transcendental sales people of Lord Krishna and Srila Prabhupada, we have to convince those people to take Bhagavad Gita. And these people are our Gita course participants who have dropped out after some time. So we have to address them, ask them how they are, pray for them, and also convince them to take Bhagavad Gita. And it is our experience that people want Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and other books, but then they are not getting the opportunity. They are not understanding where to get it from. So this is the activity that we're going to do. And immediately after the session, I'm going to circulate one WhatsApp group link. Only if you want to do this service of calling on Saturday, coming Saturday from 6:30 to 8:30, 2 hours. If you are available, even if you are available for 1 hour, you can join the group, and other details will be given in the group. If you cannot do this service, please don't join the group. It's not a party time. Yes, so you're already part of many groups, in this Gita course. So thank you very much. These are the announcements from my side. So let's chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra now. Please switch on your videos and let us start chanting.